everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to Pick a Card. This is separate than the main channel, so of course you want to subscribe down below for more videos, regular notifications. You need to turn on notifications to get all of them. I know a few have been missing notifications, so try unsubscribing and resubscribing and then clearing your cookies, because that might actually do the job or the trick. Now let's find out if they want to be with you. So you can have somebody in your mind. This can be romantic. It's probably geared towards more of a romantic question. But if you're asking about a friendship, then just convert the messages to your other relationships. You can use several different people for several different answers. And today in this video I'm going to do these 3 readings, and then for members only I'm going to do the 4th one. The reason I do an extra reading for members only is because I want to have my reading somewhere separate than here, and my energy oftentimes goes towards number 3, so I've changed it and now I'm directing it to 4. So you can join with me and do 4, choose 4 as your answer, or you can just go and laugh at me, be awkward when I'm reading the 4th one. So what are we going to do today is we're going to take a look at the 3 different options. We're going to take a look at the present energy of the situation, the past life or history of the situation, and then the Morgan Greer Tarot will be a guide for some answers or some solutions, as well as some advice on how to proceed to make the situation better. Okay, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. I'm going to start with number 1 first. So let's get right into it. All right, hi number 1, welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at your messages. So your first message is the Knight of Swords. It looks to me as though there's a direct confrontation in this situation. Somebody is still really in their ego or their feelings. They may be feeling combative or argumentative at this time. Sometimes when people are angry about something, they're ready to fight. So they're ready to argue or quarrel about circumstances. So be mindful of this person at this time. It doesn't mean that that's going to last forever. But at this time, it does look as though he or she is definitely ready to discuss things aggressively. The next message is the Page of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in Earth, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. To me, this represents you, in which you're really ready to move on from any negativity that has happened, anything in the past that has happened. You just want to move past it. And I think that in some way you're not prepared to hear what this person is about to say to you, in the sense that I think that your mind isn't in that combative state as theirs is. So you might be surprised with what they say to you, what the kind of information that they'll drop on you or tell you something. It's going to feel like a surprise that they're saying this something so strongly. One thing to deal with, I feel right away that one way to deal with this situation is to give them room to breathe, and then their anger or frustrations may subside and get more calm. There's a devil involved, so we have either Capricorn energy or somebody's ambition is a part of this situation, which means that they may want something that is not healthful to this dynamic or this relationship. This can be something like they have a substance abuse issue. They may also really desire the affection of multiple people rather than just one person. So if this is a new relationship, this person may want multiple love interests. This person may also really want things that are physical only, so not really being too committed to a more profound relationship. This could also be just a temporary response. If they're feeling very combative, very argumentative at this time, they may be prone or subject to being very confrontational or being very kind of only open to certain aspects of the relationship, not going too deep with it. The next message is we have the King of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This could be because you're about to meet or come into contact with someone who is a much better match for you. To me, it looks like somebody could be the person that you're dealing with, or the person that's on your mind is in some way coming into the picture here and confronting you as you are forming some kind of a bond with someone else. There could be fear and worry that there's someone else who is in the picture. This person, that could be motivating them to be so aggressive because they're afraid that there's another person in the picture, somebody else that you love, or they may feel that somebody's coming in. I don't know about you, but whenever I've had met someone new and formed a relationship, oftentimes my ex-boyfriends contact me like a week or a few days before I even meet them. And it's kind of strange how that happens in like a roll call. All the significant others that I've had, they sort of show up in the woodwork, and they sort of kind of show up like with an urgent energy around the same time when I meet someone with whom I'm going to have a serious relationship with. So I think that there's maybe a little bit of jealousy going on that could be motivating someone to contact you at this time. And then we have the Two of Cups. So it does look like to me maybe there's someone else in the picture for you. I feel really strongly that this is the person you're thinking about, and then there's someone else, or maybe this is the person who you've met and with whom you're having a very deep connection with, and then there's somebody else who's showing up in the picture to confront or feels somehow uneasy about the fact that you have sort of found something. The King of Cups can be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but I would say that more so than as a sign, I would describe him as a man who has a very open heart, or a woman, very open heart and very receptive to showing love or being loving and being kind, and like someone who's receptive for a relationship. So it seems like maybe even what's happened, we're going to take a look in the past in just a moment, but what may have happened in the past is that this person was not really giving too much. It seems as though, or I feel like that's the case, that they weren't giving too much. They were maybe too casual in this relationship. They may have not taken you so seriously, and now your energy is being directed to a much better direction for you, something much more stable and worthwhile. And so there's this anxiety that's showing up for them. Okay, so let's take a look at the past life or history of the situation. So we have 8 of Coins. So this person feels as though they've put a lot of work into you. I hate that kind of thinking. They feel like they've spent a lot of time like honing this relationship or putting energy towards it. The more that I sit with this energy, the more it seems as though this person really feels like they've put in a lot, but it's also very, very clear that they blew you off in some way as well. They weren't taking you seriously. And so I have a feeling that there's this juxtaposition between, I don't want to lose this entitlement kind of feelings towards you, like you're their property or in some way, you're theirs. But then there's this also lack of sincerity or a lack of follow through, a cavalier attitude towards you in the past. So they may have never thought that you would leave. Maybe they never thought that you would distance yourself. And so now they're quite anxious about it. The next message is the 8 of Strength, which is the Leo card. And so this is the fortitude of your spirit here coming through, which means that they went through a no-go zone. We all have no-go zones in terms of how we're treated, how we allow ourselves to be treated. And this person trespassed that. And from your primordial past life energy, your spirit said, oh, no way, no way. I'm not going to allow this energy to be pushed around or pushed out of the picture and treated like they're not important. So it was a real past life connection here that had to do with your self-confidence that was triggered, which made you move on to a certain respect. Even if you're within the relationship, you emotionally distanced yourself. There was this there was this real kind of fight towards whatever you were experiencing. This person may also be very interested about money. So it may have to do with, I put a lot of effort into it, where do I get something back? It feels very transactional. Then we have the Six of Coins, Moon in Taurus, the Devil. And there is a very big fixation here on give and take. Who gave what to who and in how much. I feel as though this is the healthy energy, and this is the energy that is manifesting, that is maybe needs to be worked on. So maybe this person has thrown at you all of this possessive, controlling energy, but I think that it's probably affected you to some extent. So you want to get back to this natural state of yours, which is very generous and giving. And I think this person is here to neutralize that anxiety that you feel about, you know, it's like if someone steals from you, right? If you lend them money and they steal money from you and you kind of walk away, you might have this feeling of lack that begins in your life where you feel somehow depleted. And so that person is not going to heal you, the person who stole the money or did something gnarly to you. But the only person that can heal that is yourself. And so it is on you now to, in some way, confront that, to deal with it, because your healthy state is that of giving. And I think you're going to reach it again. The next message is Page of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in Earth. This King of Cups is very receptive because they may very well want a child. This spirit is connected to them through their past lives, and so they have a real desire to bring a young energy into this life. If it's not something that you would be open towards, or if it's not something that's feasible for you, then this Page of Swords has to do, this King of Cups has a real need to bring about some new energy, some new insight, some new life into this world, and that can be in the form of ideas, sentient beings, even adopting a dog. They have this, it's a past life energy, so it really wants to come through, and that's why this person's so receptive, because they want this to manifest, and so they want this young energy to manifest, and they are looking to you for that. They see you as the person who can complement that desire of a new beginning. And then the last card is the Lovers. So to me, it seems like you have a soulmate coming in. The Lovers, one of my favorite Lovers cards. It's so beautiful, right? It really looks like soulmate energy. This to me seems like a purpose. It's not transactional. It's not that they want something to happen, but there is a goal that they want to achieve, or there is some kind of a factor that is influencing this situation. The reason, there's a purpose. They feel purposeful in this relationship, but there's also a lot of love behind their intentions. So here's some advice, future outlook, and what you should do in the situation. We're going to see how the cards sort of turn out. So we have the Four of Swords. So this person needs rest. So when you're interacting with them, remind yourself that this person needs rest, because when a person is not rested, then they will respond in turn. They will respond poorly. So that means don't step into that energy with them. Just, that's the advice right there. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. For you, I think that you're going to be kind of coming about with some kind of a new idea, more prosperity. You're going to see opportunities around you because of this situation. So this whole situation was a catalyst for you to begin this new path in your life, this new direction, but also connect with the King of Cups. So in other words, be patient, deal with the devil, and however this situation has affected you on the negative side, take care of yourself, open up your heart, and really connect with the generosity. The next message is the Eight of Rods. So positive messages coming to you very quickly. I think it's like flipping the light switch. You need to flip on the light switch, and once you do, things will turn brighter for you. So you may feel apprehensive. It's like going to the gym for the first time after not going. It feels like such a task to get into, the gym and get into the habit of things. But the moment you're there, it feels natural, it feels good, and you're exhilarating, and you may feel like, what was I doing not doing this? So I know it feels like the first step is a tough one, but I think that very quickly your natural state, you're in a natural state of receptivity to the people around you will really wake up quickly. And there will be a lot of positive communication around you to encourage that from friends, from family, and other people. Okay, then we have the Knight of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. This person really wants to take you somewhere. So this is very much, I'll take you with me, I'll take you somewhere far away. There is this, I have an agenda to be with you. It comes from the subconscious, and I want to take you somewhere. So be open or prepared for that. Think about it, and wait for them to let you know, okay? But that's, I think, the motivator. Here is the next message. We have the Five of Cups. So disappointment and sadness are standing in the way of your love, which can mean that it has to do with these feelings towards this person. So the faster that you deal with your past relationships, the easier it will be to have this very deep connection, this past life connection in love. So it's kind of like disappointment because in some way somebody is oversaturated with negativity or oversaturated with bad events affecting their life, and it's really something on you that to kind of turn around negative thinking or sad thinking about the past and really embrace the energy that is coming towards you. It has a lot to offer, so don't doubt it. In other words, this is doubt. It's not that big, and you need to really address that part. So there's a little bit of intimidation here, and there's a little bit of doubt, and both of these things I would suggest that you work on and stay away from this person, because this person needs to rest. Okay? I hope this helps. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. I'm going to move on to number 2. If you didn't like this option, then choose a different one, 2 or 3 or members only. At the end of the video, I'll provide a link for that, okay? And in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye. Okay, so number 2, hi, welcome. This is your pile of cards. Let's take a look at your relationship. Do they want to be with you? So we have 4 of Wands. So right off the bat, I think that the underlying energy is that they do want to be with you. I think they see in you a potential life partner, and I think that they're very hopeful and optimistic that they can provide for you exactly the kind of life that you want. I think that they feel like it's within their capacity to be with you. They have the ability to do it. And then we have the Death card, which is change. Okay. So I think that they know that there will be a certain degree of change needed in this situation. That can mean like external change, like where you live. You might be living far away from each other. There might be some lifestyle changes that need to happen. And so that is the big question of this relationship. There's also the Five of Cups. So this person internalizes a lot of what they do. They have internalized a lot of what has gone on, and they feel extremely guilty about not doing the right thing at the right time. This person is very responsible. They're very responsible towards like who they affect in their relationships. That's a primary concern for them. And so they are very much kind of feeling like they're failing in their relationship with you. So there's that internal guilt that's motivating their behavior towards you, despite the fact that they really want something. I think that they feel like they've made mistakes, and those mistakes are really problematic for the relationship. They don't see the fact that it doesn't matter to you. They don't see the fact that you've put it into perspective. They're still feeling guilt and shame for how they've behaved. Here is the next message. We have the Seven of Cups. They go into these states of great imagination. They go into these states of imagining how perfect a situation will be. Like they go from thinking like, I failed, this is a mistake, I've made a mistake, and then they move to these visualizations or imagery of living on a tropical island with no problems, like these unrealistic things. And so they keep on going back and forth between pure romance and, you know, you're at Disneyland every day, and then they go to self-deprecating feelings, or feelings like they can't make it, like they're only making mistakes. So they're going through a real confidence problem here. And then the next message is the Two of Wands. So this person may do a lot of self-reflection in the near future. They in some way may very much focus on who they are and who they are in the world. I feel like this relationship is making them confront themselves in terms of their abilities. I think it's like a growing pains sort of reading. It feels like they want to achieve a lot, but either their maturity or their ability is somehow impacted, and they're learning right now how to balance things out. Also notice that it's their emotions that are all caught up in everything, how they feel about themselves and how they feel like about themselves, how they project into the relationship. So that means like how they see this relationship unfolding for them. Do they see hope or do they see failure? And I think that they're teetering, tottering between hope and failure, and it's really psyching them out. But I think they know that. So I think that they're going to do some work, and I think they're going to really deal with this. So in other words, leave them alone, Susan. I'm just kidding. Leave them alone to a certain respect, and they will figure it out. Okay, so next message, we have the past life energy. And so we have the Devil. So it's like ambition, maybe having, that's what it means. Like they have this pristine vision of a relationship, and it comes from immaturity. So they think that like, oh, you move in together, everything will be great. But it's because they have a lack of understanding of how these things go. They feel that if they do something wrong, it's reflective of who they are, and it's just an example of how they failed. They don't see that life together is full of ups and downs, and one little transgression doesn't amount to a complete failure. So this person is just learning. It feels like their heart is there, but they're learning how to process things and how to think about the relationship. Ace of Swords is next. Okay, so that could be Mercury. So they're going to make some kind of active change to improve their circumstances. This may be through reading books or writing something themselves. They may try to communicate with you about this. So be prepared for communication that has to do with like their feelings or trying to hash things out. I have a feeling that you may not understand that they're trying to do this because the manner in which they're communicating is very ambiguous and hard to define or understand. So they could be like taking you to a park, and you're like, okay, we're going to a park. We never do that, but that's fine. And then, but it's in that space that they're trying to work up the nerve to discuss this, but they also don't really fully understand it yet. So you need to be very patient as they're figuring out their voice in the situation. Okay. And then we have the Five of Wands. So this is coming from a long history of stress in relationships for them. So probably more in platonic relationships than in romantic ones, which means that they have felt like a failure in many relationships, and they've experienced significant stress around that. And so as this relationship is closer than their other relationships, they're in some way confronting those feelings now. So that's where they're feeling so sensitive. The next message is the Justice card. And so I think that in all this, you know, all their thoughts and ambitions and all of their visions of things, I think that they're going to find a solution. So they're supposed to have these idealistic perspectives, romantic perspectives on this relationship, because in that they're going to find the solution, and that solution is going to really clarify things. So this is the past life energy. So it's always meant to, they're always meant to experience clarity in this situation and clearing of karma, so that they don't have questions. And so they're sort of being very idealistic or creative thinking, because they're trying to find the right solution, and I think they will. That's what this is saying. And then we have the 10 of coins. So they have, like, they're ready to be loyal for a very, very long time. They're very serious about commitment. They really want to have a very stable long-term relationship. And I have a feeling that this is what we're looking at, is just somebody growing into their own skin, or maybe overcoming some situations in which they feel like they failed. So the current situation, because it's closer than most normal situations that they experience, like you and them are closer than they are with many other people, it's triggering for them. It's just bringing up issues that they've had in the past. This is advice cards, future outlook, and just general like progress cards. So we have the 10 of Pentacles. You've got that twice. So this is the loyalty card. So it's just saying that in the long term, they will prove their loyalty to you. In the long term, they will show you how they want to have a family-based relationship, or a friendship that's just best friends and companionship, tied at the hip energy. So it's all about their fear of being good enough within that and not failing you. And then we have the King of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. You definitely are the stronger person in this relationship in terms of your experience and ability to communicate. You often take the leadership role, and I think that that's in some way a good thing. And one thing I would say about you coming up as the King of Swords is that as you have this more lucidity and clarity in the situation, as you're cognitively more prepared to deal with it, I think that you should probably in some way, a good leader allows other people to come to their own conclusions. So this is as much informing and helping to guide them, but also allowing them to work through their fears themselves. Okay, that's a big message there. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So you'll find out that this has to do with the Queen of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This could be a man or a woman. So in some way they're dealing with issues of people that are from this air energy, whether they have air sign in their chart or not. It's this, they had a tyrannical person who was very cerebral, very cognitively driven, very rational based. And so this person abused their rationale, the fact that they were very kind of, I don't know, just good at rationalizing bad things into good. And so it's almost like gaslighting when somebody, you know, tells someone else, like, you need to do this, and then they over rationalize it to make it seem like that's the only option, and even saying that the other option is bad, or the other way that person is bad. And so that was, it seems to me like a very complicated, very integrated set of circumstances that are abusive. And I think that you represent the opposite of that, which is clarity of vision and perspective. So this is why they're being so triggered by their relationship with you, because it's like the scariest thing ever to open yourself up to somebody who's very rational and very clear thinking. And through years or months or however long you'll be together, you will provide to them the antidote to that tyrannical rule that the queen was. But that's where their feelings are sort of getting all mixed up, because there was someone who abused them mentally, and you have that mental strength and that clarity, and to them that's a scary place to go with someone. Here is the next message. We have the Sun. So this is saying that there's going to be, for all their searching, for all their looking, this is going to have, you're going to find a place together. Things are going to work out. I think that they're going to find something in all the imaginings, all the imagination, all the things they're trying. I think that they'll find something within that works really well. So, and the last card is the Empress again, or no, the other one was the Queen of Swords, the Empress, which is Venus. So I really feel like this person has a long-term goal towards you, towards building family, and they're very much set on that. So I feel like the things that are happening in between are just adjustments to get them in a healthy place so that they can be receptive towards you, and so that they can fully participate in the type of relationship they want. For them, the thing that's going to hold them in this relationship with you is that they really want loyalty, trust, family, those kinds of things. And that's a hard thing to find in another person. And so they have a value in the fact that they know that you want those things as well. And they know that it's going to be very hard for them to start from scratch with someone else. So even though they are confronting things that make them very uncomfortable, at the same time, they want a good relationship way more than they are afraid of the bad feelings that are coming up from the past relationship that harmed them. So that's going to be the glue that kind of sticks this relationship together. And you'll see, even as things go up and down, as they get scared and then get overconfident again and back and forth, as they work that part out, you will see that they will always come back again and again, because their desire for love, it's all over this reading. Okay? So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. If you don't like this option, choose number 1 or 3. I also have a members only option in the description and at the end of the video. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so number 3, let's take a look at your cards. Welcome, welcome. As you guys know, I got rid of this as my option. I have number 4 for members only in the description, and at the end of the video you can do the click through. Okay, so let's begin. So we have the Ace of Swords first. So this situation really involves some kind of communication. They really want to communicate something to you very important at this time. There's something that hasn't been said yet that they need to say, and they're waiting for the right time to say it. The next message is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so there's going to be a change that they need to confront in their life. This can include work or change of residence. And so right now they're very focused on this transition. And so this transition is what is going to be preoccupying them or grabbing their attention for the next little while. The next message is the 7 or 8 of Swords, which is Saturn in Pisces, I believe. So what their issue is with regard to this relationship and regarding whether or not they want to be with you is that they have a lot of pressing time commitments that may have to do with their work or may have to do with where they live. And they feel like in some way that they're very much overwhelmed by the responsibilities and the complexity of trying to form a relationship and be with someone, while at the same time having to make a lot of changes in their other areas of life. So the other areas of their life are very demanding, and they're very stuck between how to manage it all together. But they're trying to figure it out. Then we have the 7 of Swords. Okay, so this person, in some way, they keep on giving up. So if they've been coming back and forth, they keep giving up in this situation. They think that, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this. This is too much. So there's this constant, like, running away from one thing and then the other in order to try to keep everything going. So they give up one thing and then they realize they need it, so they bring it back into their life, and then they give up something else because they're overwhelmed, and then they have to bring something back into their lives. They're really in limbo here, and more change is coming. Here is the next message. We have the Page of Pentacles, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn possibly, but to me this signifies them. I think they're going to find something else, not a different relationship, but I think they're going to find something that is going to stabilize their energy. It might be a hobby, it might be an interest, they might find something to apply their efforts to, and so I think that that will significantly help with their lack of groundedness. Now, they may have lost their job to aces, which means that there will be a job that they find very soon. Okay, so this is the past life part of the situation. So we have the Hanged Man. They lived several lifetimes in a very delayed state. Everything was delayed. Nothing was kind of going on. Everything, they had to wait and wait and wait. Their life kept on being stagnant over and over again, so they're not prepared for this much change. It kind of overwhelms them. They've had either a stagnant youth in this lifetime, or they had very stagnant past lives, and so they just don't have the energetic preparedness to be facing a lot of change. So whenever change happens in their life, they have a really intense time with it. They have a hard time with change. Four of Coins next, which is Sun in Capricorn. I have a feeling that they want to make a change. Their goal is really focused on retirement. Their goal is focused on getting financially stable and secure. And I think that they put a lot of weight on that part of life. They just really focus on accruing money, gaining financial strength. The next message is the Nine of Wands. Okay, Nine of Wands. So I have a feeling that this person goes through things on their own. They have a history of it, so it's not personal to you. They have a history of like going through things, not telling other people that they're going through things, and they internalize and they pull away from others. I get this really strong energy here that this person is always coming and going, very much so, coming and going, oftentimes leaving a situation only to come back again. That is because they're not good at communicating when they have something going on. When they feel overwhelmed by things, they just withdraw to deal with things by themselves. This is not a healthy habit, but it's something that they've probably dealt with also for a long time. This person in a past life could have been a hermit, and I don't mean a Virgo, I mean like somebody who really lives alone for an extended period of time. It really looks like either in this lifetime or a past lifetime, this person was not lonely, but they were really alone in this world. Maybe they lived in the woods in a past life, you know, something like that even, or in a very rural place where people don't interact with each other so much. It was just a place that was very isolated, okay? Then we have the Ace of Coins. So we have that again. So to me, there's a manifestation of some karmic energy because this is past life or history, and it's showing up here. So there's definitely like a financial opportunity. The Page of Pentacles is very similar to an Ace of Pentacles energetically. This is personified, and this is just a general energy, but it's the idea is the same. So to me, this is really suggesting that this person is going to have a financial breakthrough. And I think once they have this financial breakthrough or feel somehow more financially empowered, then I think that they will meet some of those primary needs. I'm drawing out the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Their primary needs are going to be in some way met, and so that will give them more confidence to be with you or to be towards you more consistent. So in other words, their lack of stability is somehow affecting them to a level in which they're projecting onto you, and it's really hard for them to manage at this time. But there will be something that comes into their life that stabilizes that energy, and so then they'll be more like what they want to be like with regard to you. Okay, and then we have the Seven of Cups, which is Venus in Scorpio. There we go. So I think that they almost don't believe that it's going to happen, so they need it to happen in order to believe it. That's what that really means. I think that maybe there's a history or a past of false positives where they thought that something was good was happening and then it wasn't. So until this, and it's going to happen for sure, it's the Page of Pentacles, it's going to happen for sure, but until it happens, they won't believe that it's happening. Okay? Okay, so now let's take a look at your last row, which is kind of advice, future outlook, just final thoughts and closure. So we have Seven of Cups again. So this person has had a lot of illusion in their life, a lot of daydreams. You know, when people are sort of sheltered, or if they're somehow otherwise protected or separate, you know, the mind kind of wanders. So, you know, you kind of hear about like the crazy man in the woods who thinks everybody's out to get them. People get paranoid and other things start to come up. And so I have a feeling that you're dealing with someone, maybe they're not paranoid, but they do have a lot of fears that are born out of being sheltered or otherwise separate and alone. So I have a feeling that that's the primary thing that's guiding them to be inconsistent with you at this time. The next message is the Ten of Wands, but they're really willing to work for it. And I think they will work for it, and I believe they will persevere. So I think that they're going to have a breakthrough in this lifetime, and that's going to allow them to be the person that they want to be, and they have the commitment to be that way towards you or towards whoever they're interacting with. So it really is a lack of resources that is driving them to be so difficult to be around. They're insecure, and so that insecurity is destabilizing them. Also, this lack of proper communication. So let's see how that turns out. So they are going to continue to reach out. You need to be prepared with this person that they're reaching out is going to be awkward. They're socially awkward person, most likely. And so, or they have a awkward personality trait with regard to some things. Like they may be fine on the surface if you don't know them or if everything's going great. But if there's a problem, you see that tower fall and they turn into putty. They just don't have those skills, and they don't have like the past history. They just never picked up those skills, or even there's a past life kind of narrative that's shown up in which they've had many lifetimes in which they've lived that way. So I think that they're trying to reach out. The human spirit is pushing through. It just might be awkward. So be prepared to like meeting them halfway a little bit in terms of communication. A little bit, not too much. You got another ace. So we have 4 aces and a Page of Pentacles. So Ace of Cups. This person's going to love you forever. It's like, you know, sometimes when people who have a hard time with things and you meet them halfway and they kind of, you know, they become really attached because you were patient with them, you heard them out. And I think that this person is going to be very, very thankful for the energy that you gave. This also signifies that there's going to be a new relationship that's coming out of this situation, a new job, new point of stability, a new job, new career, new source of money, new source of stability. That's going to really improve situations. And then the last card for now is the Four of Pentacles, which is the same thing. So they once again are going to confront these issues. If you want to be with this person, it's not about them not wanting to be with you, but if you want to be with this person, there's a little bit of a warning here that if you want to be with this person, be prepared that you will run up against similar walls time and again, and that being that they'll draw back. And so that's going to be a perpetual struggle in their life. And so if you choose to be with them in this life, expect that that's going to be a challenge that they're going to face again and again, which is that their ability to connect with other people and bond and be open in a natural way is somehow impacted by poor communication skills, a past life history of alienation, and just trying to get stability in their life. So they might be cheap, they might be emotionally cheap, or they might get stubborn at some times. But listen, nobody's perfect. And so this person too is just, at least they're honest about it. And I think that it's up to you to decide if that's something that's a deal breaker for you or if something you can accept. Okay? So that's number 3. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. And I'm going to pull out number 4 and do this for you guys now. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, pop over into the description and I'm going to do the link over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.